We like to call it the Supernatural Hour. And now, our hosts.
Welcome to the Supernatural Hour. This is Doc.
I'm Ravyn.
This is Chad.
And I'm Rogue.
Klaus is not with us today. He should be with us
Next time.
He just had something going on tonight, so.
But hey, we'd like to welcome you all here today. Thanks for joining us.
So, for the business, we're still working on our YouTube channel. We're posting new videos. We'll be posting them twice a week going forward. We're really excited about that.
And they have pretty pictures.
And they do have pretty pictures.
Because I make them.
Thank you, Ravyn.
You're welcome.
Go out and look at those. We're currently at 79 subscribers. We'd like to get to 100 so we can get an easier, better channel name. So we don't have to use 21 more. We're getting close. So tell your friends, go out and subscribe. We're looking forward to that. We got an upcoming event at the Barbary Coast Saloon.
It's our Witching Hour event.
Yeah. We'll be starting at 1:30 a.m. That's actually Saturday morning. So think of it as Friday night through to Saturday morning so that you don't get it wrong, and we'll go to 4 a.m. It's really exciting. Witching Hour. Give us some more information about the Witching Hour. Ravyn?
So the Witching Hour is 3 a.m., and that's when activity tends to get a little more ramped up. Not necessarily every time, but a lot of the times. The few Witching Hour events that I've been to, usually the activity is pretty hopping.
Yeah.
And if we could get it to rain that night, just a little bit. There's an outside section of this, so hopefully it doesn't rain too much.
Yeah, isn't it like a cross memorial or something with?
Yeah, next to a river.
Should be really active. You can get your tickets for that by going out to advancedparanormal.com, and in the events tab there's a link to our Eventbrite page, and you can just go out and get tickets right there. So go out and get them. We're limited on the tickets. We're going to have only 25 available, and at this point we've already sold
About
11
half,
of them.
Right?
Yep. If you want to come early.
Book it soon.
Cedar Hills, Utah is having their yearly parade. It's going to be June 5th at 10 a.m., and we're going to be an entry in the parade.
We're in it.
We're looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. So if you want to come out and meet and see with us, we'll be in the parade. We'll also have a booth at their little carnival. What do they call it when they have all those booths together at a place?
A boutique.
At the boutique, at the Cedar Hills Boutique.
I don't know.
Market?
Just all the stuff.
But yeah, so we'll be there too.
Well, hopefully I will be in it because I'm going to be in the pipe band at the start of the parade. Hopefully I can do both.
Run.
You might see me halfway through the parade running, sweaty, tired.
Busy woman.
We're looking forward to that. Rogue, what do we got going with the residentials?
Well, it's been a little bit quiet. I think everybody's kind of getting out a little bit, getting out of town with the holidays, camping.
The COVID let up a little bit.
COVID let up, so people were getting out of the house. All right, so we headed out to Salt Lake County, which is always my favorite. Shorter driving distance purely is really the only difference for me. But we went and we paid a visit to our little Mexican grandma. She is just a wonderful person. It's the first time I've met her.
So if you're not sure who we're talking about, if you've heard us talk about our different typing that we do within WISPS, the type 1, type 2, type 3, it's because of this cute little grandma that we came up with this, because someone, me, may have scared the living daylights out of her when I told her she had a demon in her house. And so when we left, we said, maybe we should come up with some code names so that we don't scare our clients.
Yeah, and we'll tell them what's going on and what's actually there, but
we like to ease them.
But we like
to
help them understand what that is, rather than just go, "You got the demons."
That's kind of what I did. I can be blunt.
So we'll let them know what it is, but we, when we're talking about it and they ask what's going on, then we can kind of prepare them for that information.
Right. So she's kind of WISP's lore in a way. Lore? Legend? Yeah. She's a legend. But she is the sweetest woman you've ever met.
She is, and I don't think that I've been in another house that had so many religious symbols. A wall that's just a monumental wall with rosaries and crosses, and I guess there's a couple of them. One in the living room, one in her room.
Right, and didn't she say she collected them?
Yes.
From different...
Yes.
different cathedrals she's been to and different places.
Actually, that was me. When I asked her where she collected hers from, she told me off the internet.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I was expecting a little bit more from that than...
She is a little homebound, though.
She is. We found out that she's not in the greatest of health. So when we visited with her, she wasn't able to join us on the walkthrough. However, in the walkthrough, we found a doll that we later found out that her brother had made. And this doll had a creepy presence just attached to it. But we were able to take care of that.
Castle would have been so proud of me. Usually he hones in on those little attachments just immediately, and I'm clueless. An attachment can like tap dance on my forehead, and it'll take me forever. But something about that doll just kind of drew us in, didn't it?
As soon as we walked through that room, into that room, we both was drawn right to that doll.
And she had a couple of dolls in the room, and the room was, I mean, the doll that had the attachment was creepy,
Yes.
but there were some creepier dolls in there.
There were. And if you actually check us out on TikTok, you can see a picture of the creepy doll that we are referring to.
Cool.
Yeah. But she had a doll that was a Halloween decoration that was a creepy sailor doll.
Still in the box.
Still in the box. I did take a picture of it. We'll have to get that posted. And you would have thought that that would have been the haunted doll, but it was not. It's
This one
little
almost has
gypsy doll.
a marionette, kind of a gypsy-looking,
Yeah.
sparkly-eyed
That was the one the brother made.
demon
The
doll.
one the brother
Yes.
made. However, we left, and
It didn't have a demon attached to it.
it did not have a demon attached to it.
Not even a type 2, huh?
No, I think it was more just the negative energy, wasn't it?
It was.
wasn't
Well,
really
we found a
spirit.
porthole underneath the underneath her bed.
The very bed she was sleeping in.
Yeah, yeah. So this poor woman that has all of these health issues has a portal underneath her bed.
Literally sleeping inside of a negative portal.
Yeah.
So we closed that up
We
for her.
closed that up for her. We tightened up the yard, and we left, and she left, and off we go. So we wish her the best, and I hope to hear from her again, just because she is who she is, and we want to hear from her.
Yeah, she's amazing. We love her.
Yes, we do.
So we do have 2 residentials coming up in the works, so we'll have a couple more to talk about on our next podcast.
We are headed to Utah County this coming Saturday.
Yep.
Payson again?
Yes, because Utah
Haunted
County
Payson.
is like super creepy, and this is the second time we will have gone to Payson in this last month.
Uh-huh.
So Payson's getting spooky. Spooky Payson. So I guess this will be just a big giant combined bucket list. So the ghost towns that I would like to go to, 2 of them are pretty, everyone's going to go, yeah, whatever. I still would like to go to Tombstone, and I would like to go to Virginia City.
Oh,
Those are 2
yeah.
I would really like to go to.
been to
But
Virginia City. I've never been to Tombstone.
I almost went to Virginia City.
And
We
I've
had a
been to
trip planned
Tombstone,
there.
but not Virginia City.
But a local ghost town that I would like to go to here in Utah is Grafton. I've seen some pictures of it kicking around on Facebook and online recently, and that one looks pretty cool. It's got a really cute little old school or old church something.
And the cemetery
in
looks
the
pretty awesome.
cemetery.
Yeah,
So-
there's a good YouTube video that shows the
Is that
Grafton
the
Cemetery.
one that it said how they died?
Yes, it had a little plaque and it gave the dates and how they died. And it was kind of sad that 2 children died. I think they were in the same family, and it said accident swing, that they died on the swing.
That must have been one non-OSHA approved swing.
Yeah. Back in
Aw.
the day.
Poor parents. That had to be tough.
Gotcha. Well, I'll say with Tombstone,
You were just there, weren't you?
Yeah, I went there last year. Or was there last year? It was a really cool town. You know, and obviously it's touristy, so they do
Oh, yeah.
their little shootout, recreations and that kind of stuff and whatnot, reenactments. But I think probably the place there was a couple places. We ate at a place called Big Nose Kate's, which is a saloon that reportedly has a basement that's haunted. And then also the Birdcage Theater, which, if you get a chance, that was definitely worth going through. It's basically a little museum now. But you can go down in the basement and see where the ladies used to stay, and there was this big poker table that had this big long game going, and there's bullet holes in the ceiling, and it was really cool.
Yeah, see, that is just cool.
Real cool place.
And if you watch the movie Tombstone with Kurt Russell, I don't know how accurate it is, but I believe they have the Birdcage Theater in there, and they show the cowboys shooting up inside the theater
Yeah.
when they're getting excited about things or pulling out their guns and shooting.
Or you put on a bad show and someone shoots at you up on the stage. Yeah. Well, that happened a few times.
It looked pretty interesting.
So, through 4-ish years ago or so, we went to Silverton, Colorado.
Mhm.
And I would consider that a ghost town. I mean, there's still people living there, and it's very touristy, but I would put that in ghost town. The
And
ghost
it's
town
beautiful,
area.
and
I
the train
loved
up
it.
was cool.
Yeah, if you go there, you can train up and train down, or bus up and bus down. But I would highly suggest training up and training down. And I would stay the night in Silverton. Don't stay in Durango. Durango's amazing, but I would stay in Silverton.
Yeah.
And there's an old brothel up there that's now a cafe. And I have a little bit of a morbid fascination with brothels and cemeteries, and so I'm like, there's a cafe that used to be a brothel. We're eating there. And Chad was like, oh my gosh, who did I marry?
Yeah,
But the
And then
energy
you
in there was
laugh
crazy.
when I tell you I have pictures of the brothel in Ely. Really?
No,
well, that one's a working brothel. It's different, okay?
mine was a cafe. We
All
ate
right.
it.
The working girl did come out and say hi to me.
You walked in, you're like, just taking pictures. Or maybe you weren't. I don't know.
I
I'm
sat
not gonna
down
judge.
and had a beer. Like I was like, I'm gonna check this out for a second.
Heck yeah. I'm pretty sure if I went to like the Bunny Ranch or something, my wife would not be thrilled.
Well,
I'm just here to see
I-
wats going on. That's all.
I used to work for Caterpillar,
research.
so
That's right.
I was researching the other cat dealer on the other side of town. I was working.
It's research.
No, my morbid fascination with brothels is just, these women back in the time, that's the only thing they could do sometimes to put food on the table and to feed their children. And for me, it's what a mother or what a person will do to stay alive. And when you go into one of these buildings that used to be a brothel, you can really feel that energy. And it's sad.
And it's gross and dirty.
Yeah, it's just sad.
Little dark, ugh.
Yeah.
I just remember sitting there, and it was just really that was it. It was just gross and dirty, just so in more than one way.
Oh, it's just desperation and sadness and all sorts of stuff all combined.
So much.
People who frequent those places aren't generally happy.
No. And the people that work there aren't either.
Something's missing in your life.
The only,
Yeah.
the only person that's sort of happy is the owner,
That's right.
That's true.
raking in the money.
That's true.
How about you, Rogue? What ghost town would you go to if you could just go right now?
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't have anything to say. I don't know. I kind of want to go to the Cerro Gordo, or whatever. Is that how you say it?
Cerro Gordo.
Cerro Gordo, because I'm really. He's a fun guy, and he's been going on explorations just outside from there, and he has found another mine just up above his. And I was kind of intrigued by that one, because as he was going up there, he's finding machinery. And he's like, how did you get this up here? And then I've been in mining, and I was looking at the machinery, and it looked like a generator to me, and he had no idea what this thing was. But honestly, how did it get there?
Right.
And then he's wandering around, and he found a little building, and he put another roof on it and cleaned up some holes. And I was like, that looks so peaceful. And he did it so he had a place to go that was peaceful away from his ghost town.
The ghost town was too busy in that ghost town.
Exactly. So I was kind of like, I kind of liked that. I wouldn't mind going and seeing him, but not staying there, but going to the one that was up above that I really don't know what the name of that one was.
So, this isn't really an Old West ghost town. It was more ruins. It was in England. I was there in 2007, I think. And I don't remember where this was. Probably, from the 11 or 1200s. And it used to be like this big castle or something, but there was just a few remnants of this building. and there's kind of an arch and about ceiling height, maybe 12, 15 feet up. And I mean, there wasn't very much left of this at all, but if you looked up in the top of the arch, there were places where there were little coffins. I mean, they were empty, and they looked like they were child size. And, kind of like, how did they get this up here? It's like, okay, why are there coffins in the ceiling? And, maybe it wasn't a ceiling. Maybe at the time there was a floor there and it was in the wall. I mean, but just, again, fascinating. Here I am looking at this, basically a jumble of bricks with little coffins suspended in air. But knowing at some point someone died and they put their child in that, and they were sad, and it at one time was probably a very beautiful place to put your family to rest. And
Probably thinking someone had a reason for doing it. I don't know what it is.
but I just remember standing there looking at that thinking, why? just why?
Yeah, one of the ghost towns I'm interested in learning more about and maybe going to is Centralia, Pennsylvania. And this was a ghost town up until it was a viable town up until the 1950s, and there was over 3,000 people that were living there. And it's a mining town, a coal mining town. And when they were doing the coal mining, one of the coal seams has caught on fire.
Oh.
Oh,
And
is it still on fire?
it is still on fire, and they say it will probably be on fire for another 100 or 250 years.
So we've got time.
So we got time.
We got
That's
time.
not gonna. It's
So
not
can
gonna
you
do
go
this.
see the fire?
It's
Yeah,
not-
and you can see the smoke coming up through the.
Can you go down and look in the crevice and roast
I don't know how
marshmallows?
much I don't know how close they'll let you get, but yeah, the town is.
I think that's somewhere you
completely been
should
abandoned.
go.
It's not going to unghost itself anytime soon. Perfect.
But that's pretty interesting. There's some interesting YouTube videos on that.
That's cool.
On Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's cool.
And again, another one of those oops kinds of things. It's kind of a more natural Chernobyl.
Right. Someone accidentally lit it on fire.
Can you see explaining that one to your boss?
You know the stuff we're pulling out of the mountain? What if I lit it on fire inside the mountain? Don't be mad.
Then we can all just gather. For
We
warmth.
don't need to ship it out. We'll just come here.
So don't be mad, bud. Yeah.
Take
yeek.
out that whole middleman thing, We'll be warm forever.
Find a way to cap it or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Paranormal junk drawer.
The old paranormal junk drawer. What do we have?
So, if you've been a long-time listener, you know that on occasion we will do a movie review. And we've done Insidious, we've done Poltergeist, we've done the Winchester Mystery House movie.
We do Paranormal Activity.
I don't remember. Anyway, we occasionally do a movie, and we've got a movie coming up. There's one coming out in July that we will talk about later. But as I was perusing around in the junk drawer, there is a movie. It's a supernatural comedy horror film from 1991. You got that?
Checks out. Yeah.
Okay. Supernatural comedy horror. It gets better. 1991, and it is titled The Refrigerator.
Okay.
That is ominous.
I don't even have
The
a word for that.
refrigerator.
And then,
Does
In
it
a
come to
world.
life?
You gotta,
If the refrigerator is running,
Oh, wow.
go stop it.
okay, so Doc is wowing at the picture. I'll try to remember to put the picture up
And
somewhere.
it's not even a really nice refrigerator.
No, it's kind of like a 1980s.
Yeah, it was 1991 when the
Well, I
film.
was going to say it's like a 1990s
It's not a
refrigerator.
Sub-Zero or a Wolf or something like that.
Is
No.
your refrigerator running?
So I'm looking through.
Exactly.
I'm looking through the people that starred in it, and the only name that sounded even vaguely familiar was Larry Tate. Wasn't he in Bewitched, or am I just
I think he was the
the boss in Bewitched?
was it Larry Tate or Larry White? Yeah, I think he's Darren's boss.
Was it
Yeah.
Sharon Tate's?
Oh, God.
But Larry Tate was the only name that sounded even
Sharon
vaguely
Tate's
familiar.
brother, Larry?
So
Maybe.
That's all I have.
That's spooky.
okay, so here we go. You ready to hear about this movie?
Oh, yes. I'm
Hell
on the edge of my
yeah.
seat.
Here you go. So, the first draft of the script for this movie was actually written in 1987, and it took 4 years to make. It was filmed in New York, and had a limited budget, if you can believe that.
No.
And they decided not to get the film rated. So it went straight to video and promptly disappeared, which just boggles my mind.
Oh.
It was first seen in Germany at the June 1991 Munich Film Festival. And then it premiered in New York. It had a theatrical release across Germany through some little company I've never heard of before. Not that I'm up on all the movie
German.
release companies, but had a limited release on VHS. And it's never seen an official DVD release. So if you've never seen this before,
That's probably why.
don't feel like you've missed out on a great theatrical release. So they say that it's very similar to the Filipino horror film Shake, Rattle, and Roll's episode, I can't even pronounce this, Predator.
That's a great point of reference, that Filipino horror film that we've all seen.
I know, right? So again, if you've never
just
seen
like
this film,
Don't worry.
Don't lose any sleep over this. But this Filipino Shake, Rattle, and Roll episode was remade in 2012, and it's also known as Fridge. Not the fridge,
Not the refrigerator.
just Fridge. So with this build-up, here's the plot. Okay,
Ooh, I can't wait.
here's the plot for this. So the film opens with a couple that's drunk driving through the streets of New York. Okay, so they've had a good time. They get to their apartment. They get it on in the kitchen.
They're always getting it on before something bad happens.
Right. Afterwards, the wife walks into the kitchen, and as soon as she walks into the kitchen, the refrigerator opens and sucks her in. So that's
Did it
how we
say
start.
Zool?
Couldn't call that.
Okay.
I've seen this somewhere.
So there's a couple in the movie. Their name is Steve and Eileen Bateman. They moved to New York. They happen to rent this apartment with the killer refrigerator. Steve takes a new job, and Eileen dreams of being on stage. For some reason, because this makes total sense in the movie, she pretends to receive an award and then walks all over Broadway, showing her fake reward. So this Bateman family start to have nightmares about their fridge, and Steve sees many people inside the refrigerator. They're supposed to be victims. And Eileen sees unborn babies also in the fridge. So Steve
Is there food in the fridge?
Right
I
next
don't
to the
know,
French's
but-
mustard.
Do they literally use the refrigerator?
It's like Gulliver's Travel in there. What's going on there?
All right.
Yeah, so Steve, oddly enough, is slowly driven to insanity, whether by the insane plot or just the refrigerator's influence, apparently.
It's
and
the plot.
so Eileen has to cope with her acting career and fake awards all on her own. Now, Juan is a plumber, and he comes to the apartment one night. I don't know where Juan comes from, but he comes to the apartment, and he warns Eileen that her refrigerator is from hell and that the devil controls it.
Juan the plumber. Perfect.
I'm sure there's more to that story, but Juan the plumber just...
Seen this a
Just
dozen times,
stops
madam.
by.
Your fridge is possessed by Satan.
What a great storyline.
So Steve, who has, been driven to insanity, and Eileen decide to throw a party after they find out that their fridge is a portal to hell. And the refrigerator brings other kitchen appliances to life.
Of course.
And
it doesn't want to
begins-
be alone in hell.
Yes, and begins slaughtering the guests.
What? What? No. Tell me how a refrigerator slaughters a guest.
Well, he brings the other appliances to life,
Like the blender
The
all of a sudden,
blender?
just like...
I guess.
Just like that.
What about the electric knife? Come on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, the carving knife?
The electric
Always.
carving
The carving knife, I'm
See?
sure.
It all makes sense
How
now,
long
right?
is that extension cord?
Maybe it's one of those battery operated ones.
Okay.
Microwaves, ovens. I mean, think about the danger in that room.
In the kitchen.
But don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
Everything's okay.
Can we turn the power off and help them?
Juan
saves the day
saves the day.
because he turns the power off.
No, he just ties the refrigerator shut. And there's-
He puts a zip tie on it, and he's like, and we're done here. Nailed it.
I didn't write this. I'm just talking
Just
about
ties-
it.
This is the one
Ties the
you chose to
refrigerator.
talk about?
You're laughing. You're having a
Right.
good time. So Juan saves the day. He ties the refrigerator shut, and the surviving guests flee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And
I
that
would've
was,
fled
that's all
when
the
it first
resolution
started.
you get. That's it.
No.
Oh, there's more. Okay, phew.
There's more. There's always more, right? I'm going to give you more.
I remember we got more in another
They
episode.
didn't destroy the refrigerator. It's still alive.
Right, but later, the movie closes with another couple is showing interest in buying the apartment. And then it closes because that way you can have a refrigerator part 2.
Right. And did they make a refrigerator?
Oh,
part
please
two?
tell me they
I'm
did
sure
not.
they did.
Because when I Googled, I didn't find it.
So
Can we see if we can find it on Netflix?
It's 86 minutes. It had a budget of $500,000.
I was hoping to see if it was actually like on YouTube or something.
It has an audience score of 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
Does it really?
It sure does.
Hey.
Oh wow!
You looked it up?
I looked it up.
We were both sitting here Googling this.
Like the refrigerator?
So if you need to see a supernatural, what did they call it? Comedy horror.
So I love how they identify like the source of the evil, and then they're like, let's just rent it to someone else.
And isn't there some kind of an odor coming from a
there's, like,
refrigerator
Body
that sucks
parts
up
and,
bodies?
and like blood oozing out of the bottom
Well,
of it.
Here's the thing: is there's a portal to hell that Satan controls, and apparently you can save the day by just tying it shut.
Quick zip tie
With a
and
zip
we're done.
tie. That's awesome.
I mean, he might have used a rope. I don't know. But
Maybe we
Juan.
need Juan on our team. He has some
You
skills.
can bring in zip ties.
He can bring his zip ties.
We can just zip tie those type 3s.
Yeah.
did it go into like why this was a portal to hell, or what was the deal with the fake awards thing?
See, the fake awards thing seemed really weird, and then Juan just kind of appearing out of nowhere. That's kind of sketchy. And then Steve, who's insane, decides to throw a party. I mean, I've got a lot of questions.
There's some inconsistencies here, and a lot of stuff that, I mean, literally, below down, fridge eats people, portal to hell. Got
And
it.
it was nominated for how many Academy Awards?
That's right.
I'm thinking none.
They ran out of money.
I'm thinking none. None.
I know what I'm doing
Anyway.
tonight. I'm watching the refrigerator.
So there you go. If you
Yeah.
need a movie to watch, the refrigerator.
All right. Thank you.
Well, and last, get your Supernatural Hour swag at advancedparanormal.com. We have all sorts of items there. Shirts and mugs and
Tapestries.
tapestries and
He was
bumper
waiting
stickers.
for me to say
and-
that.
Of course.
He was giving me the eye.
And don't forget our house-made items, our sage spray. We now have our lip balms and our sage rollers available. Also, you can find us on TikTok, and we love and appreciate our Patreons, and we're always looking for more. Thank you.
And we're on Instagram, too.
And we can't get those haunted ghost towns without more Patreon supporters.
I know, come on.
Rogue and Ravyn need new birthday presents.
It's coming up.
All right, we would like to thank Utah Freeze Dried for Pets, also Rescue Pets Bathhouse.
And we want to give a shout out to Barbary Coast Saloon. We're going to be going there for our witching hour. If you want a great little steak, go on Thursday nights. It's amazing. And if you want a delicious, absolutely phenomenal cream cheese stuffed pretzel drizzled with caramel and chocolate, that's the place to go because it is amazing and low calorie.
Sounds decadent.
Very low calorie. Also, Dalton's and Oteo's restaurants are fabulous if you're looking for some good food. We also want to give a shout out to Boar Off-Road Backcountry Adventure Rally. They are just a great group of people. I've actually started following them on Facebook when we paired up with them to do Merker Cemetery. And they go out, they do so many service projects. I'm like, do you guys even have time to Jeep? Apparently they do, but they do so many service projects. And so if you're looking for a service project to do, I would give them a shout out because they will, I mean, they partnered with us, for heaven's sake, so they'll partner with anybody.
Their standards are very low.
But if you're looking for a service project to do or looking for a fun group of people, if you're into Jeeping, a great group. Also, Castle. You'll remember Castle. He has started doing some photography, and it was called Castle's Nature Studio. He has since changed the name. He's starting to do some portraits, and he does a really good job. And if you have listened to the show at all, you know he's my little brother. And so I can tell you from experience, lifelong knowing this boy, is I'm the big sister, so I can call him the boy. when he does something 110%. If he takes your photos, you're going to get a good photo. He has the right equipment, the right lighting, and you're going to get a good product. So I think we're good for today.
Perfect. That wraps it up.
Stay haunty, my spooky friends.
I love you, Nicholas.
Have a good one.
Hey, good night.
You've been listening to the Supernatural Hour at AdvancedParanormal.com. The Supernatural Hour is part of the Radio Ronin network found at RadioRonin.com. Copyright 2021 by Advanced Paranormal Services.